So as you guys know, I wanted to, as we discover more and more about Prince, I can't make all my reaction videos about Prince, but I try and do a lot of them about Prince for my family out there. Prince family. Purple family. So I wanted to do something where he was playing piano. So this, I'm not sure if this is a sound check or not, but it says Prince Piano Jazz Summertime. So let's check it out. Prince playing piano, apparently the classic jazz song Summertime, but it might be a sound check or something, but let's check it out. Okay. Guys, we need to talk. I've mentioned this many times about Prince. Amazing guitar player, singer, drummer, bass player. Now look at the way he's playing piano. Look, guys, we got to talk about this. I have a friend. His name is George. And he is wicked on a whole bunch of instruments, and I could never understand how you could do that. I know how hard I've had to work on guitar to be considered a high-level guitar player by some, not all. I'm an average bass player. I haven't worked too hard on bass. If I had some friends doing a gig, just playing regular stuff, I could fill in on short notice if I wanted, but I don't want to. Average at very best singer. We're talking about me, not Prince here, okay? Thought I was talking about Prince, did you? Anyway, where I understand sometimes things come to people a little bit easier than others, but I've said this before, and I hope everybody's comprehending. His management of time must have been impeccable to practice all these different instruments, to write the songs, to do all the business necessities he needed to do. How did he do it? When I see certain people, you know, I like to think I'm relatively organized with time, but when I see certain people, I'm like, who are just seem to accomplish so much in a day, it's like, how the hell do you do that? Do they have like a little alarm? This is before cell phones. They have a little alarm say, okay, it's been 20 minutes to practice on guitar. Now I got to go practice my 25 minutes on piano today. Like what? Like, you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? And his timing's impeccable.
We start at G. Go to C. To D.
So this is a sound check, and he's kind of coaching some of the band along. He's naming out some chords. I can hear the keyboardist picking it up, and they're putting it together. I hope people, you know, I feel like an ass, like A-S-S. I feel like an ass. So in the 80s, I was young in the 80s, but I was into music and very musically aware. And I just, I remember, seeing Prince with the guitar, the commercials for Purple Rain. I remember Purple Rain on the radio. I've done a lot of time lately, the past few weeks, obviously thinking back to when I was young, going like, when I would think of Prince, what would I think of? I just remember thinking, I kind of put him in the category of Michael Jackson as like, he's a singer, entertainer guy. You know, I knew he had a guitar. I think I was under the impression he could play. But, you know, a lot of frontmen, singers would kind of have a guitar hanging around more as a prop. I didn't know, and I'm feeling like an ass. So, like, you know, this is an amazing trip down this rabbit hole, as you guys say it with Prince, but at the same time, I feel like an ass. Like, I have feelings of feeling like an ass, because I'm like, why? How did I not know? So, but I hope you guys can appreciate, coming from someone who's spent much of my life has been revolving around music, studying music, practice and performance, and music as a business, not, you know, on a world scale like that, more on a local, regional scale. Like, where does this guy get the time? You know, to be proficient on one instrument, for most of us, it takes a lot. So just to be so good at so much, it's incredible. You know, we can use the word prodigy. Yes, some things can come to certain people faster than others, right? But at the same time, it doesn't matter if you're a prodigy, you still got to put in the work. Where did he find time to balance everything, to learn all these instruments? Could he play the piano like that as a teenager, or is that something he picked up later on? He obviously has a grasp of music theory, so a very strong grasp at that too. I can tell when he solos, when he plays. He's got really good technique on the guitar. You know, a lot of frontmen, they can play some rhythm on the guitar, and great, you know, that's great. But they can't play lead. A lot of them, some can, but like to that level is. I just hope that you guys appreciate what I'm trying to say about time and time management. You only live so long in life, and you only have so many minutes in every day. He must have been extremely, almost OCD, and highly disciplined with his practice and how he managed his time when he was in his formative years, especially when he was learning. Well, you always continue to learn, but I hope you guys get what I'm saying here. But I'm feeling like an ass. And he's the master of dynamics. See how he brought it down there to whoever's playing guitar so they could have the spotlight doing their little solo? He just calls the guy over, the assistant, whatever, to tell him something. He's like, ho hum, yeah, by the way, yeah, okay, what's the weather calling for tonight? What's going on? Where a lot of people would be like frustrated because they'd have to stop and talk. It's just amazing, guys. This doesn't end. Like, you know, every time we do this, I'm like going, oh my God, like, what's next? Now, a lot of you have been saying in the comments for weeks, man, he's a wicked piano player too. And it's like, today I wanted to do one about him playing piano, and yeah. So, we know Prince was wicked on piano now too, right? I've never been the type of person to be jealous in my life. I don't have time for jealous people. If you're jealous of people, that's just, you need to get up earlier and work harder in life. But I'm in amazement and wonder. My friend George, now I'm not comparing him to Prince, but he's very talented. If you guys get a chance to check him out, he has a band called the Five Georges. Look him up on YouTube. He plays all the instruments in his videos, and he writes all his songs, and he's really good at everything. It's pretty amazing to see. And he's incredible on all kinds of different instruments. Someday I'd like to have him up for a jam, barbecue, and have a chat with him about that sometime. Just say, hey, dude, how did you manage your time to learn all these instruments? You know, like for me, guitar is my thing. I can dabble a little bit with a few others, but I'm not spectacular on them. It's interesting. You know what I'm saying? God, this is just like, I'm almost wondering if it ever got to a point where I get a comment from someone saying, did you know that Prince was an astronaut? He did. He went to NASA and he took this course and he went up on this, you know, and did this orbit around the Earth and did the. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. This is just, and I love Summertime. That's a jazz song. Goes back a long ways, a lot of different versions of it. Janis Joplin did a great version of it. All kinds of different great versions of that song. It was awesome. Don't know what to tell you, man. So, guys, that was one of my favorite videos that we've done with Prince. So, remember, keep the comments coming and keep the suggestions coming. I'm loving this. And remember, practice hard, but practice smart. And we will see you soon.